background to Symphony Hall is that during the 1980s, the city of Birmingham was determined to revive and reinvigorate the economy, and as the region moved away from manufacturing, it decided that one of the new areas would be business tourism, and a study resulted in the International Convention Centre with Symphony Hall being conceived, designed and constructed. The problems the engineering designers and builders had was fitting 50,000 square metres of construction on a 2.5 hectare site. Quite a challenge, because ideally people like all their halls at one level. We had to stack some of our halls. There was another significant problem to be solved, and that was that the site is bisected by a railway tunnel. The railway tunnel, which was built in the 1850s, carries the West Coast Main Line trains and causes vibration to cross the site and potentially could have intruded noise into Symphony Hall, and we had to remove that noise, where the acoustician had set the target of no perceivable noise at all. We're now down beneath Symphony Hall in the undercroft, where all of the isolation to keep the railway vibration out is achieved. We did this by using 7 different techniques. Firstly, British Rail, their civil engineers were about to relay the track in the tunnel while we were constructing Symphony Hall, and they installed some partial track bed isolation. And isolation at source is always the best thing to do and the first thing to do. The next thing we had to consider was, we knew from tests that the further away from the source we were, the weaker the vibration. So we moved Symphony Hall as far away from the track as we could. But because of the compact nature of the site, that was only 35 metres. Having done that, we needed to create a very, very heavy foundation. So we piled into the Birmingham rock sand. The Birmingham rock sand is a very dense material, so we had the mass of the ground as a part of the weight of the foundation. So we were able to create very, very heavy foundations. But because the vibration was strongest close to the surface, those piles had to be separated from the ground. So the top 6 metres of the piles is separated by a steel liner from the ground and the vibration. Having created the piles, we needed to build the substructure. The substructure has to be above the ground because the ground itself is carrying vibration, and we didn't want this substructure to pick up that vibration. Hence, we're 600 millimetres above the ground. Having created the whole of the substructure, we then installed rubber bearings to carry the weight of the hall and to remove the residual vibration. Having isolated the whole of Symphony Hall from railway vibration, we had to make sure that vibrations from adjacent buildings which were not isolated could not get into Symphony Hall. So we separated the whole of Symphony Hall by a 50mm railway vibration isolation joint. We are now just outside Symphony Hall in the mall of the International Convention Centre. Beyond the end of the mall, there has been much new development. In Bingley Place, around the canal and the canal basins, and down Broad Street, we have many new hotels, new restaurants, a range of offices and other facilities, as well as attractions like the National Sea Life Centre and the National Indoor Arena. The City Council can be truly proud of their success in using Symphony Hall and Convention Centre as a catalyst for regeneration, investment and development. The engineering teams involved in the design and construction of this project, many of them went on to be involved in other projects, be they local, such as in Bingley Place, around the canal or down Broad Street, or as in the case of the design team, The engineers then were invited to design a project to be isolated from railway vibration in Hong Kong. Civil engineers are people who enjoy working in teams. They enjoy analysing and seeking solutions to problems. With new technologies, new solutions are available which enable engineers to contribute even more to society. It gives opportunity for career development, it gives opportunity for travel. I cannot think of another career that could give so much satisfaction. Engineers really help create a better world for all.